Grand Rising Elizabeth. Today is, what's the day, everybody?
May 18.
Oh, May 18. We're completing something today. Today is a 9 day. So welcome everybody to May 18th, 2023. My name is Reverend Omani-Grace, and I'm the host for the show today. And today we're going to take on listening and how we listen. And we're going to take on seeing if we can create a new way of listening in the world. So we're going to distinguish how we listen now, and we're going to see if we can take on different ways of listening and being in the world that will bring us more power and freedom. And listening to people in our world and ourselves from a different point of view that gives us power and freedom. So let's get started with the show. We start having a little opening conversation about listening and how people listen. And the question is on the floor right now is, how do you listen? How do you listen yourself? And how do you listen to the people in your life? So we're going to start the show. And I like Evelyn to start off sharing how she would say how she listens from a group that she's in now and how she with her friends. So could you share that experience with us again, Evelyn?
Yes. With the listening partners, we are in training about how to listen and how to be present with the person and how to acknowledge that what they're saying is valid, that we hear them, and that it's a safe space in which to view how they're feeling, what they're going through. So,
Okay.
and what I realized is that I thought I was listening. Obviously, I'm not, because there were instances a while ago that you could be talking to me and I would sit you and look you right in the face and fall asleep. Close my eyes, close my eyes and go to sleep. And I was like, what is that? Why do I keep doing that? I said, oh, this is so rude. It's so rude to do that. Now, when I close my eyes, most of the time it's because I'm really listening and I'm blocking out everything else, So, yeah, so that's how I realized about how I listen. And
So
yeah.
so when that happens to you, how would you say that you were listening when somebody's talking and you just go to sleep? How are you listening? Like not listening, or
It was like what they were saying was like, I'm going to give you with my friend Deb, her conversation around money is constant lack and constant chasing after it, not chasing after it, but juggling it, juggling it. I realize, a lot of us, that's what we do with money, we juggle it. And so it would be the same thing over again. And I would like to tell her, or say to her, you really have to watch how you're talking about money, about, what you're going to get with your Social Security and just how, you're working for your brother. She was going down to Atlanta once for a few, for like a month, and then she'd come back home, and so she stopped doing that because that was just splitting her up too much. So, just where this money is coming from and how much and it's like your conversation about money is, yeah, it's kind of whack. And so I would fall asleep because it's like, I've heard this before and it's not making sense. And I don't think she's really understanding how her conversation is affecting what is happening.
Yeah. Okay. I really totally get that. Right. It's like a drain. The conversation it just drains you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a drain, the conversation. And we all participate in those kind of conversations that drain us. Right. And really listening to the kind of conversations that I'm having about myself that drains me. Right? That's in there too. Right? Good morning, Mama. Not good morning, Grand Rising. Mama Head. We're talking about listening again. We're back to that conversation. Not back to it, but we're gonna delve into it a little bit deeper. and like how we're listening ourselves, how we're listening others, and how we're listening the world. Right? Because if you start to think about how you listen to the world, okay, if everything that's happening, if we're creating our world, right? This is right there for me. If we're creating our world by who we're being and what we're saying, if we say so if I say somebody's stupid, that's how they're going to occur to me. They're going to occur to me like they're just stupid, right? They don't have a clue. That's how they're going to occur to us. But if we really look at the world, how we think the world is and how the world is occurring for us, that's how it's going to be for us. So I can actually see that we would have to even take on an empowering context on how we're listening and because mostly we listen to the world that it's bad out there. That's mostly how we listen to the world. You got to be careful out there, right? Go ahead.
I still don't think they got the difference.
Okay.
So let me, if you would.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Please do. Go right ahead.
Hearing someone and being in a conversation with them. And then the other is how you expect them to interact with you long before you even interact with them. So how I listen, Mama Het gonna show up with energy. I already know she's gonna be excited. Arms gonna be flailing. That's what I expect of her. That's my listening of her. But then when she opens her mouth, am I hearing her or am I somewhere else? So those are two different listenings. Okay. How do I expect that person to show up? How do I expect, like what Rev was just talking about? We expect the world to be dangerous. So when we go out, we clutching purses. I got my 9mm and I know how to use it. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's how I approach the world. Nobody's even talking to me. But I have postured myself in such a way that I'm ready. I'm ready. Whatever you got for what, bring it. Because I listen to the world as dangerous and I got to be on my toes. I got to be protecting myself. I got to have cameras. I got to have, right? That's a listening of the world. But then you have what Mama Evelyn was saying, when I'm talking to you, my listening of you is already there. Do I think you on some bull jive? Right? And then am I even paying attention to what you're saying? They go hand in hand, but it's two different types of contexts, because if I know you loving, then I'm gonna come to you like, can I get some of your, and I'm talking to a foodie, right? Talking to Rev. Can I get some of that brownie? Well, I don't know about this one, right? Because I know she's a foodie. But I can still come to her because I know it's love over there. Did y'all get the differences?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and it's interesting that we're having this conversation because I was just listening to something. I was just listening to Michael Beckwith yesterday, and he was talking about this very thing of how how we look at the world and it mirrors back to us of exactly what you just said. If you're projecting out fear, that's what you're going to get back. It's going to mirror it back to you. And it's actually what we've been talking about too in the Course in, that we've talked about in the Course in Miracles. So yes. So I thank you for that. I thank you.
Okay, so
can I add this, Rev? Is that well, kind of two things. If you know how you say, especially mothers.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell you this forever. Somebody else will tell your child the same thing, and they'll hear it from them. They couldn't hear it from me, because of who I am to that person or what we've experienced in our lives and so on and so forth. All that's just matter of fact, in Wakanda, the second one.
Yeah.
Remember when she said when the mother was talking to the daughter, and she said, "Oh, mother, okay, I have to go now." And then the lady said, the assistant said, "You talk to the queen like that?" I'm talking to my mother, not the queen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to my mother, not the queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So listening to her or what she hears from her when she's in the operation of the queen. The other thing is like for music, let's say music, and if my husband walks into a certain thing, or any of us, we have and I remember sometimes we will perform and the acceptance of the music and stuff was like, wow, that was amazing tonight. The audience, the blah, 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 blah. It's because they had a listening for that music, for that performance. You can go to the other one, do the same damn performance, and a whole crowd don't accept you because of wherever they coming from. They may have a particular belief. They may have whatever, you know, and then you find out once you let that down that, wow, I wasn't expecting to enjoy myself. I never heard that music, you know, but the performer said, why they're not accepting this is because they don't have a listening for that jazz. They don't have that type of listening for hip hop or whatever.
Okay, so this is really good because now we're actually creating a conversation and how it is. It's like, so what I'm hearing you say, Queen Junie, is like the listening you have for the queen is a different listening than you have for your mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Same person.
Yeah, same person. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So, but you don't listen to her as the queen, you listen to her as your mother. So you can have a different conversation with your mom than you're having with the queen.
Yeah.
Right. Or even if it's music, if you this is so funny because I got my t-shirt on backwards. I just like, what is this in front of me itching me? Oh Lordy, okay.
Our listening of Rev is that girl, she could put her coat, her shirt on backwards. I don't know if I trust what you say. She don't even know how to put her clothes on right.
That is so, I'm like, what is itching me up here? Hold on while I turn my shoulder around. Hold on. Okay, so then we have this listening. Oh, no wonder I was choking.
Yeah, right. Right.
What's so funny is Kennedy did the same thing yesterday, and the whole day her collar was just up like this at school. She didn't even care.
I was over here choking, kept pulling this away from this. Like, why am I choking? I felt I'm like itching. What's that? It's a tag. Okay, so then we have this listening, right? This listening going on and distinguishing, like, and when you distinguish something, that's to take something that's working in the background that you don't even really know it's working in the background and bring it to the foreground. So that's what we're doing right now. We're distinguishing how we listen. Right, how we listen to ourselves and how we listen to others, right? So Bridget, you had shared before we started the program how you listen, how somebody had showed up to listen, how you're listening to them, listening to take notes or something like that. Could you share that again?
So because of the work I do every day, by day, my listening is I'm listening to a person, but I'm also listening to respond because I'm gathering information.
Okay. So I want you to write that down. You're listening to how you're going to respond to the information you're getting.
Yes.
So that's how you're listening. And so that's the part you have to distinguish in this is how you're already listening. There's already always listening to people. Like there's certain people in your life when they show up, if your boss calls you and you can pick up the phone and see it's your boss, you start to get ready because you listen to your boss a particular way. As soon as you see his name, okay, what he want? Okay, what happened now?
Right? Oh, that's usually how I answer too. I answer the phone. Okay, what now? What happened now?
Right? Okay, so this is the thing I really want you to do to bring this conversation home so you can actually have a transformation. Because for people who are just joining, that's what we really, oh, I thought I was back on camera, not. Mama Het and Edwina, when she get on here, that's what we had started to distinguish, that there's something in the space, like who's on this call and who comes to this call. Y'all already got all the information. Yeah, we can get a little more information, but everybody on here, we're seasoned people. We got information, we've studied, we've been in the world, we've overcome some things, we've accomplished some things. We're not spring chickens in this conversation, okay? And so it's not so much for us to gather information, it is for us to develop and train ourselves in the information that we already have. Right? It's can we take all the information we have and now implement it in the world so we can come home with the goods? That's what the game is now, really. It's not get more information.
Right.
And so, and so, like for me, I'm going, okay, there's nothing to really, like on Thursday, hold on, Tecrecia.
Yep,
okay. There's nothing for me to really teach you guys. You guys are okay, but it's to develop what we already have. Right? It's to actually can we implement the information? Because I know for sure if we cannot, that's not what I want to say. I know for sure that if we cannot practice the process, we don't know what we got. This is like playing the piano. You can know how to play the piano, but you're not going to play Mozart if you don't practice.
Ooh, practice.
You're not going to play Mozart if you do not practice, right? You'll still be like me, can play chopsticks, and that's as far as you go. Right? So go ahead, Tecrecia, what you want to say?
Because I do need to practice. I said it yesterday while I was with Kennedy doing her lesson. And I was like, I need to. That's number one. Number two is you said get the good. So I just want to give an on-the-court example before I head off to work. With my former spouse, Kennedy's father. So the listening comes before we even get into a conversation. I used to look at him as annoying.
So you're going to be annoying.
Right? So then when we would get in conversation, everything he said would make my head feel like it was about to split. I just want to gouge my eyes out. Like, oh my God. Right? So then when I do the inner work, all of the information that we're talking about, we got, do all of that. And I say, he is a blessed child of God. He is a son of God, just like me. And so I go into the conversation with him like that. He shows up. He's making dinner. Her dad all week. And Lord knows that was the best Mother's Day gift he could have ever gave me. I love my child and I needed a break. Every single night I have been able to just chill by myself.
Yes.
As annoying or a deadbeat dad or
I got none of
it, all of that that used to be my belief system. That's what always showed up.
Yeah.
When I switched it and I called him as God sees him, well,
totally different person.
Totally different. And when we talk, I hear him, other time, I hear him differently. I can actually tell my sister when he left yesterday, Gabby, he telling you he gonna wrestle you in your prom dress and all that stuff because he's a lion. He's a Leo. He just playing with you. He trying to make you laugh. He's trying to give you a whole bunch of attention. He's known you since you was 2 years old. You about to go to high school. He proud of you. And it was like spirit just fell on me. I never said that about myself. But I was able to give that to her like, girl, he not about to come and mess your send-off off. He is proud of you. And Kennedy was sitting right there and can hear me speak highly of her father.
Yes.
And kind of hold his rah, rah, rah lioness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a beautiful moment. And it never would have happened if I had not took all of this work and info that I keep eating, put it into practice, put it on the court, And then now I have a life.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Most coaches don't have. I know I got a really good situation, but it ain't just for me. Everybody can have it. We just got to do the work.
Right.
Getting fat on information.
So Tecrecia, you're saying your sister used to listen to him like you listened to him. He was annoying.
Period.
So now you've changed the whole diagram or whatever it is. You've changed the whole whatever it is. I don't know.
Dynamic.
Thank you, Mama. You know I was on the D. You know I was on the D.
I know, yeah.
Dynamic has been altered and the parallel has been shifted too. You know what I mean? So now you can see him as a person instead of that Brillo pad. Brillo pad.
Girl, for real.
Yeah.
Now, what is it called when we have, because my skill is that I hear what people don't say. Now, what is that?
Well, that's a quality too, right? But I think yeah, because a lot of information is in what's not said, right? Okay. And I think you really you know I don't know what it's called, but it's a quality that you have. I have that quality too. I can hear what's not being said, right? So I think it comes from really listening to people, because when you really listen to people,
discernment. The religious they call it discernment. Other people call it empaths and stuff like that, but
Okay.
yeah. And most of the people on this call are empathic. Most of the people on this call are empath. Everybody on here consider themselves a, like you're empathetic. You can feel it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
It's empathic.
So everyone.
Grand Rising, Edwina, welcome.
Thank you.
So that's what we're going to continue to look at today. We're looking at listening and how to incorporate listening more deeply in our lives to make a difference, right? That we're listening to is great and awesome and peaceful and loving, but then having the other little voice that says, who do you think you are? Why do you think you could do that? Where'd you get that from? There's that other voice, right? So if you're somewhere where you can write this down. Tecrecia, I think she's about to leave. Did she leave?
not yet. I'm still here. I got like 20 more
Okay, so
minutes.
maybe you can help me with this if I leave something out. So you guys want
Yes. Yeah, I got you.
you guys want to actually write this down, like the way, because Evelyn already Evelyn distinguished the way she listened. One of her friends is as a Debbie Downer. When she's talking to this particular friend is talking to her, she's such a Debbie Downer, and that's how she listened to her. The Evelyn says she'll actually fall asleep right in front of her face. Right? So how she listens to her friend is like a Debbie Downer, right? Bridget was saying that how she listens, I don't know if it was a client or whatever, but what was that? How'd you listen to them from?
For
I
response,
I'm listening basically to respond, because as they're talking to me, it's basically, I listen like an investigator, because that's what I do for a living. So,
right. So what
I listen like an investigator. So literally while you're talking to me, I am tearing up everything that you are saying, because I'm picking out what's true, what's not. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? And so by the end of the conversation, I'm really listening to respond to you, because at the end of it, I have to give some sort of a response. And that's even whether, and that's
so how you're listening to people is how you're going to respond to what they're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So remember last week when we did this, like I would ask the question, and no matter what I asked you about or what subject I asked you about, you had an answer for it. Remember when we did that? Like if I said lawyer, the automatic response is right there. If I said teacher, who's a teacher? Oh, that dog is so cute. I would be you at your, where you at, Mama Head? Look at him. Don't be his butt.
I was ushering him past me. I'm at home. I'm dog sitting. My sister's out of town, so we met halfway to switch up. Yeah, I just got the babies.
Okay. He's so cute. What's his name?
That's Max, and the other one is Gizzy.
Oh, I got a Gizzy too. Where I went, my friend that's graduating, her dog is Gizzy. Girl, Gizzy hadn't seen me. I went over there. He lost his mind.
Absolutely.
And then when we was getting ready to go, I didn't say bye to him, and he was mad. He was like, you ain't say bye to me, you give me no sugar, no hug, I was like, my goodness. I ain't never seen she got him because she needed emotional support, and now we have to emotional support him. What kind of hell?
Right. Yeah.
He the
They
one
want
need emotional support
they
now.
want to speak, and when you come in, if you don't speak to them, they'll bark the whole time you're there, and they'll never love you because you didn't give them a respect.
Exactly.
So people don't put your dog up when I come over there. You're not getting me in trouble.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Okay, so this particular exercise that we're taking on is you're already always listening. How you already always listen to people in your life, right? So you can write this down so you can refer back to it, okay? How we mostly listen to people when they're talking to us, or we're listening to ourselves talk about ourselves. We listen from, that's right, right and wrong. That's wrong. You know, you talking to somebody talking to you and they tell you, say, you go, you know, that's wrong. You say it to yourself. You know that. Oh, girl, no. Wait a minute. I believe you. I don't believe you. Right? We listen from, that's true. That's false. Right? We listen from, that's good. That's bad. Right? We listen from, like Bridget was saying, why? How come? We listen from, what's that for? Right? What's some other ones, Tecrecia? Can you think of some other ones?
I was working my brain. I think you got them though.
Yeah, those are the main ones that we listen.
Downstairs.
That we listen for. Mama Hat. She can't hear me. Put yourself on mute, baby.
I'm sorry. Please forgive.
No problem. No problem whatsoever. Right. So that's where we're listening from. Can you like look in your life? Like look at some people in your life. Like if like look at the main people in your life and how do you listen to them? Because that's the part you want to distinguish. How do you listen to people in your life, your main people? How do you listen to them? Can anybody see?
We listen to them like we know them.
Okay. Okay, so I really totally get that you already know who's over there. Like they can't surprise you in nothing that they say. Okay, good. So so you listen from, you already know. That's the already always. You already know. Okay, good. That's good, Mama Hat. What else? What other way do you listen to people in your life? Just take each individual and look. When you see them coming, what's already there?
Oh.
When you see your daughter come in the door, what you see? What you hear?
What she want now?
Okay, what she want now. That's how you listen to her.
Can't she make by herself? That just like I asked her earlier. I said, you want me to take RJ to school? You want me to take RJ to school? So she waits. I'm talking when I was talking to you at the beginning of the show. She was trying to get my attention, say, are you going to take him to school? No, because I'm in my meeting. Oh, it's like, it's like setting those boundaries of her just walking in thinking she can just start talking to me. And it's like, you don't know what I'm doing. Knock on the door.
And
it's
so
like,
basically you listen to her like she's a little rude, no boundaries.
Yeah.
Expectation. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. Okay, good. I want you to just hold that thought. Who else? Look at the people, the key people in your life. How do you listen to them?
We
So-
listen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll use my sister as an example.
Okay.
I listen to her in a combination of ways.
Okay, that's good.
I listened to her initially as, okay, what do you want me to do now?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And then it'll switch to, okay, is this true? Is this not true? Is this real or not real?
Mm-hmm.
So I listen to her in a combination of ways.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some people in your life you can listen to them like, can I trust that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Or you listen to them like this too. Can I count on you? Are you gonna really come through this time? Can I count on you to do what you said? You know, there's some people in your life you know you can count on them to do what they said. But there's some people you go, I don't know. Right? How else? What else? What other ways do you
Or
listen to people in your life?
you tune them out. Because she said, she told me later that, yeah, I want you to take him to school. She said, I gotta walk out of here. I haven't brushed my teeth or brushed my, I'm like, that's not my fault. That is not my fault.
Yeah. All right. So now let me ask y'all, okay, so anybody else want to say like some people in their life that they want to shift their listening of them? Sheila, you want to say something?
I've been laughing because every time you said that, so of course I listen to my husband a certain way, you know, because when if I know, because I tell Pam, you know, we like, oh shit, he's coming. He's been hanging, he's feeling good. He had some beer, some weed, some good company, and I'm sitting here. I said, he's gonna want to talk. He's gonna want to talk, and then so I'm preparing for this or that. Or if I bring this particular subject up, bring it up when he's not, you know, like earlier in the day. There are certain times where you feel like,
yeah,
otherwise the conversation is going to go this way, and my listening of myself is that how I'm going to react, you know,
yes.
if he does that, and just you know, just those things. It's just funny, you know. I mean, I know how Pam is going to react to certain things, and sometimes
Yes.
it's a shock when they say, "Okay,
Yes.
what?"
Yeah.
I just knew I had to talk you into this, and you got it all set up in mentally in your head.
Because you already know. So Sheila, you brought up a different thing. How do we listen ourselves? So like when I say it to myself, how do I listen myself? One of the ways I listen myself is don't say nothing stupid. Right? If somebody, because I am on guard, because I know I'll get triggered really fast, and next thing I know my air be hot and I hold me back. Right? So it's like my listening of myself, okay, please don't say nothing out of order. Right? Right. Or if you do, how I'm going to react if you do. Like this, it's already there, how I'm already going to react when you say certain things to me. So,
and so you end up on guard, like what you're saying.
Yes.
I do not like people yelling at me.
Yeah.
Mama on that. Ooh. And I was shut down.
I'm clear about that.
I'm listening and I don't respond. I don't go back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm listening to what a person is saying to me. And then it may take me a day or two, because if I respond right then, I'll always, even in like fighting and stuff, I thought I might kill you.
Yeah.
If I really use all my power, and so I don't want to be in jail because of, or hurt somebody.
Oh, this is so great.
This is change in the next, it'll be over with, because I'm a quick forgiver. And then, but now I'm in jail or you're hurt and stuff like that. So
this is really great. because this takes me, okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. This is really great because in Sheila, because this is what this whole thing is bringing up for me is how we have a fixed way of listening ourselves and others. It's fixed. There is no is what I'm going to do. Right. That's what we're starting off this conversation with. We got enough information. Now, how do we develop the information so we can go to the next level? Because even with if somebody yells at me, okay, you know how old that is? Like an old conversation. Right?
Old as in like it was here before we got here. And we just took it on. Because Sheila, we 30, 40 years apart, and I got the exact same conversation you got.
Yeah, and it's old. So that's what I'm interested. I'm interested in canning some of these old conversations that's in our way.
Come on.
Right? Because that conversation, Queen Aduni, it really, when you do that, it really stops you from hearing something new for yourself and sort of keeps you in the same space because you can't hear it, right? Because it's an interpretation. It's not the truth. What we want to be open for is like our interpretations of things because that's not the truth. You know, because immediately you're already always listening is if somebody's yelling at you, right, what that means. And so that actually can be reinterpreted in a way that you're empowered by it rather than disempowered by it and stopped.
Got it.
Can you get that?
Yeah. Yep.
And so all of us got those ways of being where we get stopped from developing ourselves.
Yeah.
If somebody says something to you a certain way, if somebody comes after you, if somebody get all over you, you can, but it's happening so you can develop your communication skills, right? Because if somebody had, so see, this is the deal, watch this. If somebody, that building you want to get, and that person who can help you get that building start getting animated and really loud and start fussing, you ain't gonna listen to them? But they can actually have what you need to help you. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I didn't say I didn't listen because I did say I hear you.
Yeah.
Hear it, but I'm not back and forth.
Yeah.
And then even in the control that if we go back and forth, anyway, that doesn't matter because I get what you're saying about transforming that and not running from that or responding in a disempowered way.
Yes.
But to see
can you hang it?
What I say is it is, and if I say it's just their expression, their way of expressing themselves, and it doesn't mean nothing about me, I could take it that way and then just let them throw it out there and put it
right because
throw away the bones.
Right. So that's really powerful, and that's really what I'm after in our conversations that we're having. Like, how can we take that? That's not a stop for you. You can, girl, all that power you got, you can speak into anything. You can go back and forth with you however you want to, however somebody want to, because you got that much power. You can stand there and be with that. Totally. But the occurring for you is like, no, you're not dealing with that, and that's an old conversation. Right. And that's what I really want us to look at. What's our old conversations that we have and how we're in the world, because those are the conversations that are in our way. Because our access to everything that we want in life is in who we're being and what we're saying. Who we're being and what we're saying.
And those old beliefs, they're in the way of all this information that we have. It's not able to implement it and get the juice out of it.
Yeah.
All piling up.
Right. So I already always go ahead, Sheila.
Evelyn and Mama Het.
Oh, got their hand up. Go ahead, Mama Het, and then Evelyn.
No, Mama Het, Evelyn's first.
Okay, Evelyn, and then Mama. Wait a minute, Mama. Evelyn's hand blends in with her background, so I didn't even see it was a hand over there. I thought that was part of the hanging on the wall. Lord have mercy. Okay, go ahead.
in listening to Sheila and her interactions with Phil, I started thinking about Sheena's dad. And a couple of years ago, I came into some money and I spent it, but I didn't do it crazily or frivolously. I was very conscious in how I dealt with it. But I had shared that I got the money with Sheena's dad, and how my conversation with him always is, as soon as I see his name pop up, it's like, oh, this is a 2-hour conversation. Do I feel like talking for 2 hours? But I always felt like I had to explain things. You know how you feel like you have to give the explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So when it got to the point where I was coming to the end of the amount of money I had, and I wish I knew everything I knew now then, but anyway, I knew he wanted an explanation. He wanted to know, well, what did you do with, and I thought about it. I said, well, I could explain it to him this way. And then Spirit said, you don't have to explain the damn thing. You don't have to explain nothing, because you took care of your business. You didn't go out and, have parties and drink. You didn't do that because that's the type of person you are. You're going to take care of business. You just did what you did in the way that it showed up for you to handle things. You did it. It may not have been the way he would have handled it, but you're not him. But you don't have to explain anything. So when he came at me and asked the question, I said, I spent it the way it needed to be spent. And he said, you're not going to tell me none of your business. I don't have to explain, because if you know me, then I'm not a wild and crazy person. So yeah, so that's because other than that, I would have had to explain, well, I bought this and I had to buy this and I had to do that. And and it just, no, I don't have to explain it.
Yes. So in shifting your listening, you took your power back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the part about this. Because when we listen, like we already know, we don't have as much power as we really could have.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're listening a certain way, rather being opening for anything's possible. Rather
so
than being
change the way I listen to him though, to anything, because a lot of times we have conversations and it's just it blows my mind because he gets it sometimes. I mean, it seems like he gets it because I know he's been doing this spiritual journey all his life because his grandmother, but sometimes it feels like he's caught in the this and the now and the world that we know is not real, and he's treating it as if it's real. And I don't feel like I could straddle a fence like that.
Yeah.
Do this work and then
but now the question becomes, how can you listen to him so he's left in power? Because this is the part you guys don't really understand. Listening grants speaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listening grants speaking. If you don't have a powerful listening of me, I don't care what I say, you're not gonna really hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Listening, how you listen to somebody. Somebody, Evelyn was saying this. She listens to her friends like, oh my God, I can't stand even hearing her like that anymore. And she just falls asleep because that's the listening. So that she don't even have nothing. Her friend don't have nothing, no way to speak into that because Evelyn ain't even there no more. She done went to sleep. You ever talk to somebody and they don't have a listening for you? I wish we could do that exercise where they don't have a listening for you no matter what they say. They looking all around, they playing with their phone, they ain't even really listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a free flow of information.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because what we don't understand is listening grants speaking. If you don't have no listening for somebody, they can't really talk to you.
Mm-mm.
Not really.
Earrings.
Exactly. So that's the part we don't really understand. Listening grants speaking, and we don't really get that in our empowered listening, we can empower somebody speaking and have them be more powerful than they even think they are. And they'll be like, oh, it's so good talking to you. I got so much. Because how you're listening to them is they're extraordinary. And if you listen to somebody that they're extraordinary, their conversation will be extraordinary.
Okay.
Listening, grant speaking.
Mm.
Okay, so Mama Het, you want to say something? You're on mute. You're on mute, honey.
Yeah, check, my fingers don't always work. This
Okay,
phone.
go ahead, boo.
So, align with what you're saying. We have that. There's the I know. When you talk to somebody, they have the I knows, which to me as a mother sounded like shut up. When people tell you I know. And the other idea is that, like, I was listening to, and I was listening to this guy because he was the interim superintendent for schools. And he said that it's a cold world out there. And if you want the house on the hill and to send your children to college and to drive that fancy car, you're going to need to, in other words, he was like, you're going to have to take this shit and do the best you can with it. And that's what made me leave the school. Because I was like, it's not a cold world out there. It's warm and fuzzy. Or my friend last night saying, if this is any idea, if this is an inkling of what's going to be happening, if it's happening now, then this summer is going to be real. It's going to get worse. And I said, no, that will not be my reality. Absolutely not. I just kept saying it over and over. Nope, not doing it. But if we listen and expect a certain thing out of a person, they're going to give us just what we're asking for. But really, are we thinking what they're thinking, or are we thinking what we're thinking?
That's how you're listening now.
Right, but I'm saying, but there's this thinking thing, I call it the head game, where we think what the other person is thinking, and they're not thinking about what we're thinking. They're thinking about all the stuff they got going on. That's a different subject. I'll do that later.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because what we're dealing with now is listening.
Right.
How you listen. You don't really get the power of listening. Right? The power of listening will determine what somebody says. Right? If I'm listening to you, great. It doesn't matter what you're trying to come out of your mouth, because I'm gonna hear you as great. You know, when my dad, I'll give you an example. When my dad started having lung issues, I never gave it a name, because I know if you give your sickness a name, it'll take on those qualities. So, but my dad had started to get dementia. And I didn't want the doctor to tell my dad that he had, quote unquote, whatever he said they were saying he was having, because my dad would become fixated on it and he would go very quickly. So when I know the power of listening, and I went in that doctor's office, I sat on the edge of my seat, I leaned in and declined for him to say that my dad had cancer. I wouldn't let him say it. He never said it, never said it. And we was in there almost an hour. He never said it. He just talked about the different treatments or your father's condition. They kept calling it a condition. His particular treatment is this or that. No, we're not doing chemo. Okay, we'll do some radiation. Okay, how does that work? And we did that. When he got done, he was like, okay, great, Miss Hurst, but I want to tell you something. It's been a long time since somebody has listened to me that keenly. Because I sat right there, looked him dead in the eyes and said, don't say it. And that's all I kept saying to myself the whole time he was talking was, don't say it. And he never said it. So we don't really get the power of our listening. That our listening grants speaking. Listening grants speaking. Because you know, when you don't have a listening for something, can't nobody say nothing to you about it. Right? Mm-hmm. When you don't have a listening for something somebody is trying to talk you into, get you to do, enroll you into, if you don't have a listening for it, there's nothing they can say or do. Y'all know that when a salesman comes to your house or somebody trying to sell you something you don't want. Ain't nothing they can say, no discount they can give you, nothing they can say that will have you, right? So it's just like Tecrecia right here now in here, she's declaring herself as a powerful, oh, it went away just that quick. Tecrecia. It was up there. Then when I went to say it, it was like, nope, I'm not saying it out loud. It's she says, from the conversation, I am listening to myself as a powerful spoken word artist, extending God and light in every word that passes through my teeth. Right? That's what you get to do for yourself, what she just did. You just declare the listening that you're going to be, who you're going to be for yourself. Because that's the deal right here. The whole reason I'm having this conversation is for you to get the listening that you have for yourself, and you can declare the listening you're going to have for yourself.
Mhm.
And you're not going to listen to any other voice to try to tell you you're not that. Because that's mostly what we fight up against. Can y'all hear that? Okay, so what y'all hearing? Because I'm not gonna talk the whole time. You gotta generate this conversation. You gotta think. I'm thinking, but this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that thinking is the hardest thing for us to do. To really think about what we're doing, how life is showing up. So let me hear from some people from this conversation. What are you hearing that can be different from your life by how we're talking about listening, that you can shift? Because you have to be in the conversation with people. When you're in conversations with people, start asking yourself, now how I'm listening to them. How am I listening to them? And you'll see, like, okay, remember, don't y'all know good and well y'all do this when somebody talking, y'all go, now you know there's some foolishness. That's how you listen, people. You
Wow.
be like, this, you be like, they be talking, you be like, Okay, so what are y'all hearing in this conversation? Y'all gotta tell the truth.
Well, now I'm wondering, because Sheena is into her phone a lot. And so when I'm talking to her, she's scrolling. And I'm wondering, I said, are you listening to me? Do you hear what I'm saying? And I don't feel heard a lot. There we go.
Say that again, Evelyn.
I do not feel heard.
Yeah, because she's not really listening to you. That's an eye opener, right?
Yeah.
And you just be talking away. Right? My mom's when I got this conversation, my mom's biggest complaint to me was I didn't listen to her. And I was like, when you're doing all that fussing and going on and on and on, who can not listen to you? You got to hear that. But when I got this conversation, I really got that I stopped listening to my mom about 15, 16, Charlie Brown. How I listened to my mom was wah, 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 wah. When she was talking to me, that's what I heard. Wah, wah, wah. And I would go, okay, like I heard her. But then once I got this information and really started listening to my mom, my mother was really saying to me, I love you very much. I wish you would do these things, your life would turn out. That's what she was not saying, Mama had. What was in the us said, which Mama had talked about earlier. That was what my mom, that was in between the lines. That was what I saw in my family. How we said I love you was, who drank up all the Kool-Aid? I love you. That's how it sounded. Why would you leave one cookie in the cookie jar? I love you. I started hearing the listening shifted. And once my listening shifted of what they was really saying, they was really saying different stuff from what I was thinking. And it really opened up our relationship. It opened up for more love to be in our relationship. It opened up for more communication to be in our relationship. I have two brothers. It opened up for me, my brothers, they never said I love you. But when I started saying I love you, we would be on the phone. Okay, I love you. Talk to you later. They would go. They thought something was wrong with me. Why is she going around saying that to us? Right? But then after I just kept doing it to bring that present in my relationship with them, they start beating me saying it. They would say it before me. You right? My dad telling me he loved me every time he talked to me. That was so great. My dad would always say, okay, baby, talk to you later. But he never said, okay, baby, I love you, talk to you later. Oh my God, my world just shifted. And so I'm having this conversation so that we can have that kind of shift, not only in our world, but how we listen each other. And not that fake listening, but the for real listening. You know what I mean? Okay, who, Mama Hat, you want to say something? Anybody else? Bridget, Edwina, what are you guys hearing? Go ahead, Mama Hat.
So a lot of our listening is based on our thinking, how we
Okay,
think.
no, okay, so now we're gonna help each other out right now. Say a lot of my listening is based on my thinking. Let's go there, because then you'll really get it. Because you bring
I just heard it. You just said, you just did it a couple times. That's why I'm going back to this. Okay. I'll say me. Okay. For the sake of, yes. Okay. So the way I listen is the way I think. And many times I could say that I think a person is in a certain frame of mind. This is my perception, or my perception of what I think they're thinking. But a lot of times people are not in that mode where I am, because they have their own mind and they're thinking and so that's what clouds my listening, because I think they're thinking about what I'm thinking about, and they're not.
No. So let me turn this around for you, Mama Head, though. When you say they're thinking, no, you control your listening. It doesn't matter what they're thinking. You control your listening of another and of yourself. You're in control of that.
Based on how I'm, right?
Let me say it again, you broke up.
I said, my thinking affects my listening, because I'm thinking of whatever it is that's on my mind, right?
Mm-hmm. You're listening. Okay, go ahead. Just say it out. Go ahead, finish.
Okay. And a lot of my thinking is based on what I think somebody else is thinking. Like when Mama Evelyn said, Sheena isn't listening to me because she's scrolling. Now that's actually happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, scratch all that, because I'm not communicating effectively. Let's just scratch all of that. I gotta.
Okay, but yeah, but this is the part I really want you to get it straight though. See, because
I do, but I don't think that I'm explaining it well. So now I'm getting flustered.
You're doing good. Okay, but keep working with me through it. Just keep hanging in there. Okay, so this is a prime example. Just hang in there. Hang in there with me so we can straighten it out. Because if you get it, it's going to go ahead.
I really need
Mama Head, breathe and get centered.
Yes.
And calm down so that you can hear.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's exactly what one of the other things that I said I wanted to do, was to say that when somebody is talking to us in our listening, that it's better for us to stop and breathe so that we can empower ourselves through health and through listening better. Because sometimes people are not necessarily talking to us. They may be talking to themselves as well. Because we look outside of ourselves when we're explaining things or attempting to understand things, when a lot of those gems and that solution is inside.
Okay, but now, okay, so let me help you out, baby. You know, switch the subject. You've switched subject. Can you notice you switch subject? You know, switch subjects.
Way back into the other one.
Okay, switch subjects to go back to the subject we talking about, because now you're talking about the subject you talking about. No, we're not talking about that subject right now. We're talking about how we listen. That's the subject.
We listen based on how we're thinking. I listen based on how I'm thinking. And I think that other people are thinking what I'm thinking, and they're not. They may be thinking about something totally different. So do I need to be talking to them? Because they're only going to hear what resonates with them, right?
Okay, no, look, I said, no, don't do all that. All I want you to do is really get listening is a created phenomenon. How you're thinking and how they're thinking has nothing to do with the listening that you've created. See,
I think that's a belief system. I think that's a belief. That's a belief.
No, listen, this is what I'm telling you. I'm saying this is what but this is really great, Mama Hat, because other people have the same things too. Okay, so I'm saying it, this is what I'm saying. That there is a way that we listen. It's always way of listening. It's already there.
Right.
It's already there. I'm saying that if we really get this already always listening, that we can shift our already always listening to a created listening, which can have you have more powerful conversations with people and relationships with people. Your already always way of listening, if I ask you any subject, if I say music, what's there? If I say to you, let's do the work right now. If I say mama head, if I say the word music to you, what do you hear when I say the word music?
Movement.
Okay, great. If I say to you banking. It's already there.
I want to say, she said shysters.
Okay, good. What? Okay, you got to say, because it's already there.
Yes,
See, I think this is a good example. When you said money, I said nothing. There was nothing. I didn't have anything to say. So I said nothing, right?
Okay, but the thing about it is, this is, if I say to you, and I said banking, actually, if I say the bank, right? I said banking, but you heard money.
Money. So you said banking, I thought money.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about right here in the listening.
Right.
Because it's already there.
Right.
It's already there. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to process anything. If I say one word, because it's human beings, how we are designed is that we already know.
Okay, so Reverend Omani, when you said banking, I didn't have, my initial was blank. I didn't have anything to say. And so now again, forced me to say, I felt forced to say something.
Yeah, because listen, this is the deal. If you have nothing to say, it's because you done killed off the banking system.
Isn't it being killed off right now?
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Banks are closing right now.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, Mama, hey, you trying to tell me it ain't nothing there when I know doggone well, as a human being, as our design, that's what's there. And where you want to go is I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
Okay, good. So then you say what's already there for you is I have nothing to say about banking. That's what's there. I have nothing to say about that. Because basically you done killed it off. And when I say you killed it off, you're like, ain't that what's happening right now? Because already you've killed it off. It's already there. Does everybody here else get that?
Yeah.
Is somebody else not getting that?
There's no good or bad about it. It's just how our brain, operates from that. I think
it's like, okay, so wait a minute, hold on. Let me just get this. Mama head, it's like this computer. Who we are as human beings, we're wired a particular kind of way, right? We have a operating system. As a human being, we got an operating system. And if you don't know, as a human being, if you don't know how you work as a human being, right, and how you operate as a human being, you don't have as much power as you could possibly have. Because as a human being, you have an operating system. Right? And so a lot of times life is not working for us is because we don't know how to use our human paradigm. How to use our senses, sight, sound, listening, taste, touch. That's all part of our operating system. And we don't know how we operate as a human being. We don't know how our system works as a human being. And this is just an access to having that system, listening powerfully and being able to shift your listening about what's going on in your world can cause your whole world to shift. And that's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, so Ebony, you had something you want to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna Grand Rising, ladies. First of all, this is perfect timing for me to come into this because that's something I do struggle with is listening. And today, actually, okay, so I understand what y'all say about the belief system because what I've learned about myself and how I operate, when I listen, my belief system, I listen for solutions. So anytime people are talking to me, I'm already under the impression and under the perception that I'm being talked to for a solution. So that's the way I communicate.
Yes.
Over the years, I am learning and accepting the perspective that not everybody is talking to me for a solution. And
There you go.
hence why I was late. That's why this is such divine timing for me. I just had woken up from my slumber to my son's father, and we just had a communication issue. We always have a communication issue, baby mama, baby daddy. Conversations always come around because my son lives with his father, but his father calls me when he's at a rate that he cannot communicate with his son no more. Now they call me for the fill up. He comes and fills me up with all this information on what's all been going on between him and his son and want me to talk to him. I talk to them for solutions, and it always escalate into a confrontation with me and his dad. So today, I felt myself going there because that's my belief system, is to communicate based on solutions. I'm coming up with solutions for this problem. And it took me some time to talk to myself and talk myself down, like, stop talking, listen, stop talking, stop giving him a solution, because that's not what he's actually calling me for. He's calling me to vent. He's calling me because he wants to get this off his chest, not for me to have an answer for it. Even though it don't support my belief system, even though I think it's the dumbest shit ever, I just said, I talked to myself like, look, girl, in order for us to get through this baby mama, baby drama, and it always your problem with communication, stop talking. I stopped talking, I listened, and he got what he had off his chest. He said he was gonna call me later, still haven't called me later. I'm not gonna have a fit about it, because apparently he don't want the solution. He wanted to vent. But what I did was use my perception to tune into my son to figure out exactly how he was feeling about the situation. And when it was done, I knew my son was going to be left alone with all these feelings that he feels like is brought upon because of him. And when I didn't get that call from his daddy, instead of, calling his daddy back, like on, my perspective on solving solutions, I called my son and I asked him, I said, son, do you think this conversation was brought to my attention for me to create a solution, or for your dad to just have someone to talk to? Do you think would it work best for you if I would have gave a solution or did what I did? He said, no, you did fine. I think my dad just wanted to just have you hear what's going on and to find facts that I'm not telling you everything. So then that in turn turned into a conversation between me and my son. I tuned into him and asked him, well, son, we talk every day. I feel like we have a good open communication kind of relationship. Why are you not telling me these things? And we had a whole conversation on my way to work on why he feels a certain way about his father. And it's a conflict within him on how to communicate these feelings to him, but it's easier for him to communicate the feelings for me.
That's so great, Ebony, because it's what we had talked about earlier, how we have a listening for our mom, and like he has a listening for you, and he has a listening for his dad. How he listens to you, I can talk to my mom. How he's listening to his dad is I can't talk to him. So it's like, but if he shifts his listening is like to, okay, my dad is easy to, because if he listens to his dad, I can't talk to him. That's all he gonna get is I can't talk to him. That's how it's gonna keep showing up. But if he go, you know what? I'm gonna see if I listen my dad like he know what he's talking about, what'll happen. My dad knows what he's talking about. I'm gonna trust him, right? Or if he's listening to his dad like he irritates me, if Tecrecia had talked about that earlier, right? If you listen like he irritates you, that's what he go do. He go irritate you.
And you ladies taught me how to do that, because that's how I talk to him now.
Yes, and so
even in our conversation, he thought that I was gonna go somewhere, and I was like, "Well, how do you feel about it? How do you want us to proceed about this? I just want you to talk to him. I got you. I got you. You want me to talk to him? I'm not gonna argue with you. We ain't gonna talk about who doing what as a parent. You want me to talk? I'll talk. I won't even find a solution.
Yes. So, this is really great because how you listen, and before I got this information, how I listened to people was I listened from the bottom line. You got a whole story. Okay. I got all of that. What's the bottom line of what you need? I don't need to hear all of that. Just give me the bottom line of what you're asking me for, right? And so, but if people felt cut off or people felt like, they didn't hear the whole thing, and I still don't really need to hear the whole thing, but I'm more, it's like, okay, come on, right? And how you listen to people. So that's the whole point of this conversation, because where we started off from this morning was this. Everybody on here, mostly everybody on here, we've got enough information. What we need to do now is develop the information that we have. It's powerhouses on here. All we need to do is develop and train ourselves in the information that we have and take the information that we have to another level. All right. So that's really good work, Ebony. That's exactly what we're talking about on the court. So good work. Thank you. Edwina and Danielle, you guys got something to say? We haven't heard from y'all tonight. Oh, you see where I'm at. It's nighttime in my world. Okay.
You all hit on so many points for me to actively hear and to understand how I move and flow in those ways, and that listening piece and what I bring to the listening is it's like I was like looking over there in the mirror. Hi, you got to the reflection and to hear where am I in that really. And I know that that's one of the first skills, honestly, when we break it back now. When I was in elementary school, we had classes on listening. Are you listening? What are your listening skills? What are you hearing? And sometimes life can come at you and you make lateral moves to get back to center, and you forget some of those tools along the way.
Yes.
So it's so important, and I'm addressing, or I'm being addressed.
Let me ask you, I know you have some challenges. So where is a place where you're challenged listening, that if you shift the way you're listening this person or situation, that it may shift the conversation in that area?
So many, I'm like, let me pick one. And as my mate is chuckling on the way past, I'm kind of waiting for him to go on pass through since he's chuckling.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah, that dynamic there, as you grow.
Okay, so listen. Okay, this gonna be good, right? You ready? No matter what, how you gonna listen to them is great. What they're saying, this is so great. Just listen to them, great.
Absolutely. And just being willing right now within myself to ask those questions is fascinating, because at the end of the day, I want effective communication. And those are the conversations that we are right now having. And one of the conversations that we've had recently is that, or over time, if you are not listening with fresh ears and you're thinking about how somebody responded back here. So not only you're holding them stuck, and you're back there too. Where are we? Right here. What are you hearing?
Okay.
And how
so to really be a commitment to listen to each other in the present.
Yes.
Not from the past.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great listening skill, because then when in your conversations, you can really listen for, is that conversation from the past, or is that something happening right now?
Absolutely.
And keep the conversation in the present, and it'll have a shift in everything that's being said, because it'll have to be said from the present, not from the now, not from the past.
Yes.
Right? That's powerful. If you actually engage in your conversation from listening in the now moment, it will have a whole shift in what's being said. because listening grants speaking.
Absolutely. So this whole conversation in real time, I'm sitting with it. I'm marinating in it.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Uh,
Mama head. For the yarn ladies, oh ma'am, yes, and that's a skill too. I'm nodding. I mean, because I had to sit with some stuff to come to that. You know what? And they all
yes.
cute.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
Yeah,
all
you
cute.
do. Yeah, you
So
do.
yes.
So, but the whole point of this exercise, you guys, is to take on what's already there about how you listen about yourself and other people, change it to another way of listening yourself and other people. And there's a miracle in there.
So I'm gonna step in and interject because everything that you say is absolutely true. I've taken the communication course. Before I did that, I used to have a listening that my voice didn't matter. So every time people always come to me to listen to them, but when it comes time for me to speak, it's like, did you hear what I just said? I could say the sky is blue and you come back with a question with, did you say that the sky was blue? Or what color was the sky? I just said it. It irritates me when I express myself and then people come back with a question with something that I just said. Like, are you listening to me? So I had to come out with, my voice is big, my voice and my message is heard. And when I start doing that, when I have conversations with people, I no longer get those simple questions that come back to me because I am heard. And at the same time, my boyfriend was listening on the communication course. I had to change my listening for him because the listening came for him every time he talked was, I'm trying to remember because it was so long. It was like every time he talked to me, it just seemed like it was blah, blah, wah, 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 wah. It was something that he was saying. It could be coming from the heart, but it's almost like, disappointed dad. I think that was one of the things, you coming at me like you're the disappointed dad. Like I done did something. And I had to change my narrative because every time we got into a major conversation, it's like, oh, I'm talking to my disappointed dad. No, I'm not talking to my disappointed dad. I'm talking to somebody who's actually caring about me. I had to change my way of listening to the point where, because I wasn't listening to him. When I changed my view, how I was listening of him, that's when I started listening, really listening. And it's like, oh, you've been saying this for a long time. I wasn't paying attention because my viewpoint of what you're saying was totally different. So it's a nice refresher. I like to listen to this because
thank you, Danielle, because that's the whole point of this conversation. It's like the listening that you have of someone is going to determine the level of conversation that you can have. When you shift the listening of that, when you shift the listening of someone or the listening that you have of someone, it will shift the conversation because what you think is there is not really there. What's there is someone who is extraordinary, awesome, but you listen to them like, that's your dad issue, then all you're going to get and hear is dad issues. So that's the whole point of this exercise. So the whole point that I want to do, what I would like for you guys to do is really in your world, start to pay attention to how you listen to the people in your life. And if what you hear over there is, like Ebony was saying, how she was listening to the people in her life is that they need a solution. No, they don't need a solution. What she needs to do is listen. If she listened to them, then it naturally it works itself out. She don't have to have no solution. You don't have to run and save the day. So Mama Head, you over here typing all that stuff, girl. I can't read and talk. You take me off. What you want to say? Say something. Say something. Say something. What you saying?
That you just better explain what I thought I was attempting to say. Danielle did it, Edwana did it, and Queen did it. It had to come in 4 pieces. It's convoluted up in here.
Yeah, and Mama Head, you just got to be willing to hang in the conversation. If you can hang in the conversation, you can actually, because you're. Listen, I listen to you guys talk. Mama Head, you be over here. Okay, that's how you think. Okay, and that's just how you think. I get that. I'm paying attention, right? And sometimes it's like, well, what you talking about? That you be. Oh, girl, I got you. I see how you think.
Everybody rush up to talk at the same time. That's why I said when I get flustered, I'm not flustered with y'all, the other person. I'm flustered in here because everybody just like when I want to hustle, every hustle move I know wants to be done. I'm like, no, I want to do this one.
Yes. Yes. And that's all that's going on. You just gotta hang and don't let yourself get frustrated. And communication can totally shift for you, but you get frustrated. Next thing I know, you know, you're like one of them wires that just start going all over the place. I'd be like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Right. And then you're like, I don't even want to talk anymore. Well, wait a minute.
Right. I have to shut it down because it's crowded in here and it's loud. But Saturday, Friday, everybody was able to do what they did Friday. Y'all saw me Friday. I was, it was good. And then Saturday, when I came back, it was like everybody was tired. There was only one person left. It was only one person left to do Saturday. So Saturday I was kind of dragging. But then the energy of the people around me, I was able to deliver messages because I wasn't sitting necessarily and talking on Friday. So Saturday I got to receive messages and give messages, right?
Yeah.
And so that happens to me a lot. And so now I know because of this, I know what my frustration is that everybody is talking, hold on, the psychologist, the dancer, hush.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's really good, Mama Het, because you in your system, you got to call forth who needs to come to talk. We all did that exercise. I did that meditation with you guys called Gathering in the Whole, right?
I might have missed that.
We didn't do the exercise where we went and got all our people and brought them to the table and had a conversation with them.
Yes.
You did the exercise, yeah.
Yes.
And so, Mama Het, you just have to know who you're letting through the door. You let everybody come on. Everybody come on.
It
was a door. So it's a what you call the one that just go around like this.
Right. You just let everybody through the door. You need the one you talking to come
That's
through
what
the
I said.
door.
I need my whiteboard.
Yeah, you have everybody at the executive table.
Oh
And,
my
and you just need to talk to the controller, or you just need to talk to the human resources director, and you're trying to talk to everybody in the whole boardroom. No, we just need the human relationships director. Okay, so I get that about you, though. You know what I mean? But this is another thing I noticed about you too. When somebody try to pull you in, you start fighting harder. You be like, no. I'll be like, well, wait a minute, just come on back to center. Because you be like, so you just.
That's because everybody want to come through the pool. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. It's all at the same time. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. So, listen, you guys. So that's the whole point. I really get, like, I came to the call today. I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit, what we doing? What I was told to say is like, listen, you guys, we already have everything we need. We need to start to develop those things, those qualities that we have. And so you guys got to really come to the table. I'm a generated conversation. My spirit said, now this the real deal. Y'all can't come and feed off of me. Y'all got to come and bring something, what you want to have, what you want to break through. I'm a coach. I'm a spiritual person. I'm with God. Y'all got to come to the table with what you want to develop, and my job is to help you develop it. My job is to help it come into reality. So me laying something on you is not the deal. I got all the books over here. I told when we started, I was like, okay, I pulled out this book. I pulled out this book. My spirit's like, no, none of them. I was like, what the hell? Okay, I'm coming to the call with nothing. Oh, but it is something. Right? It's you guys really developing yourselves. So the question is, what are we developing? We're creating a show, but we got to develop something for ourselves individually so that we have something to extend to others. And so, but as we develop ourselves and people who come to listen, they can hear something being done here that they're going to get the chance to develop themselves.
Right.
And that's the deal.
Like mine yesterday was, okay, I know who's talking right now.
Okay, good. I love her.
Yesterday, she said, she told me, she said, when somebody's talking and if they're getting frustrated, no. When somebody's talking and I feel myself getting frustrated, I need to stop and breathe. That is empowering. It lets the person say what they need to say and get it out, because sometimes it ain't even about me hearing them, it's about them talking. They need to get it out. So stop talking and breathe. That will help empower me and give my lungs some strength. My body is working the way it's supposed to be working. And then I can hear differently if I shut up and let them talk. I've learned to do that when I have to deal with people or parents that used to come into school. I just stop talking and let them finish. Why do we have to interrupt? I'm talking about the we and me. I'm still here. Why do we have to interrupt? You want to get them to cool out because there's other people in the room. No, just let them talk. You want to be heard, so let them talk. Just shut up and breathe. Or not shut up. Just hush yourself. Just breathe, and then you'll not talk automatically. You see,
Yes.
somebody came up and started talking in there.
Hey, good. All right.
Good
So
work.
what else, you guys? Y'all give out of this conversation, because we're gonna stop, because I don't know if Queen got some things, but okay. So I'm really getting like what's happening for me is I'm getting developed in doing this, right? Like and so this conversation. So I want you guys to really go out in the world, notice how you're listening to people. If it's not empowering, to really change your listening and listen to the people in your life with more power. And you get to shift who the power is over there by how you listen to them. How we used to listen, my brother was, oh God, here he come. To, oh my God, he's so extraordinary. We can't wait to what he has to hear, what he has to say. And that's who would show up. Someone with power, with great things to say, and we would laugh and have a good time, rather than, oh my God, don't nobody say nothing, tick him off. Right? Which really gave us power. So you just want to really pay attention to it, because you can change your listening of anybody and have them show up different, and have who you are together be different. Okay.
If I can, ladies, just the truth in that, the power in that is, it's just atmospheres, when you change your thinking.
Yes.
It will just unclog it around you.
Yes, it will. So I'm gonna have this little conversation, because I really see I'm gonna leave us with something around prosperity every day, because that's my conversation. My conversation is wealth consciousness. And so it came up yesterday. Somebody, I don't know, somebody was talking about, yeah, we can get some porta potties. And I was like, porta potties? Ain't no way. And so that sort of stuck with me. I'm like, okay, because who I am and what I'm dealing with what's coming across my consciousness. And anything that I see throughout the day, it's coming through my consciousness, my subconscious, to let me know that that's there. So if that's there, and who I am, and the conversation I'm working in inside of prosperity is, this is what I turn to today: nothing but the best. Nothing but the best of everything. I'm going from good to better to the best. I done came through a lot of good. I done did a lot of better, but now, and the point I am in my life is nothing but the best for me. I will never let it rest until my good is better and my better is the best. Right? We have conditioned ourselves to want and have less than the best. It's a conditioning. It's a programming. This is the best we can do. I'm busting that up. I'm done.
Right.
And if you're going to be hanging around me, you'll be done too, because I'll be like, I know. Nothing but the best.
Right.
I'm no longer settling for the less. Mm-hmm. God said we get the best. So today, as you go through your day, who you want to be is nothing but the best. The universe is unlimited good. Mm-hmm. The universe is not saying you deserve less. The universe says you deserve the best. I got a loving Father, and it is his pleasure to give me the goods. Mm-hmm. I don't have to feel guilty about daring to expect the best and to hold out for the best. Nothing but the best. I'm a rich child of a loving Father, and my Father has everything I need. And that's that's the prosperity affirmation I want to leave us with. Nothing but the best. And we're not taking nothing less. And the more we put that in the universe, the more the universe will give that back to us. I'm done with this good enough. Done with that.
Reverend Omani.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you when we get. Can I call you when we get done?
Yeah, y'all can call me anytime. Listen.
Ain't no anytime. You got some certain times now.
But wait a minute, hold on. Let me tell you something. Who I am is an angel minister. When I ask God, okay, what does that want me to do? I'm gonna send who I want you to talk to, I'm gonna send to you. But I'm on call 24/7.
Okay.
And Tecrecia ain't on here. They know, because they know, number one, they know I'm a night owl. And they've checked to see 3 o'clock. I answer the phone.
I was so gonna call you this morning.
Okay, you can call me, because guess what? If I can't talk to you in that moment, what I put on my phone usually is I'm on my way, which means I'm on my way to you. Just hold on, I'll get there. People are like, "Were you coming over my house right now?" No, I'm letting you know you in line. And as soon as I get to your point in line, I will talk to you, because that's what I'm here to do.
My sister said that, my Libra sister, but she says, she asked me, "Are you on your way?" She always says that to me. Always.
Yeah.
That's
So
my Libra.
that's who I am. And if you ever call me, I may not talk to you in that moment, but I will get back to you and we will have a conversation. So listen, ladies, let's take that forth into the world. Nothing but the best. That's all we standing for today. Our new mantra, nothing but the best for us.
I say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Rev.
Yeah.
I want to say this to everyone. There's Mr. Dudley, Joe Dudley.
Joe Dudley.
Dudley Hair Products, right?
Yeah, Dudley Products, yeah.
Years ago, I was in a program for masterminding millionaire and all of that. And this guy named Ray, they came up to Detroit from Charlotte, North Carolina, I think that's where he's at. Lots of property and everything else. And so there is like their plantation kind of thing. They had a hotel on there. They had a conference center on there. They had their product development company warehouse there. And they had this school there. And the Ray used to, so they had the program of, changing people's minds, masterminding and being prosperous, so on and so forth. Came to Detroit and other cities. Ray was here and he was saying that he would come back, he would tell Philip and I, use me. So this is my point. He said, use me. I'm here, so when I come back, or just let me know, and then, just use me. And we would say, we don't know how to use you. We don't know how, So what Rev is saying is, this is who I am. This is what I can do to help us. And now it's time to get real serious about why we're coming. We're not coming just to yak. We did that.
Right.
We're coming to make some accomplishments and to fulfill on what we are here on earth to do, right? So not only do we owe it to ourselves and to each other, but we owe it to the world and our Creator, because that's the full expression of Him as it relates to coming through us, right? So that's what Elizabeths are to impact the world with the gift that you have been given. But how do we do that? Well, one of the things is Omani is saying, like Ray used to say, use me, like use me. So Thursdays need to be where, we get to strip down and get some breakthroughs. And that we say that Elizabeth is a safe and a creative space. Well, let us experience that. And then when we come in, it's like, shoot, we ready to get some break through that. And so we do know what to do with the gift that has been presented to us. The gift of Wednesday with Mama Het, the gift of Tuesday with health and wellness, the gift of Monday with, the natural you and beauty and technology and social media and stuff, the world of passion and purpose. Because on Fridays, starting in June, we are each creating a business plan. We're going to go through it 6 weeks. Takes 6 weeks to do one. So we'll be doing that on Friday because it's about now, let's do it. Yeah. So the anointing, like I said, that the Holy Spirit told me, the anointing is in the doing. God anoint you then. But if we don't do it, we don't even know. If we don't step out there on faith, we don't even know. If we don't write our visions down, we don't know it. Because it said, write the vision down and make it plain upon tablets so that men will see it and run with it. That I had not noticed that it said that part until this sister came in when I had the school. And I gave her my business plan. She told me what she does, marketing and such. And I gave her my business plan. And then a few days later, she brought it back and she said, okay, I see where I fit in and so on and so forth. And then she said, so I said, well, did you want a copy of it or anything? She says, no, I read it. I see where I fit in and I'm ready to run. That's when I saw the meaning of, so that men will see it and will run with it, because it's on paper and they can see where they fit in, So we want to get to that level in whatever it is, whether it's ministry, games, or like Mama Het, you were saying that I like to do a lot of different things, and so we got to package that though. You need to get paid for that or have a choice. If someone says, well, whatever you want to give, well, if I gave you what you would be happy with, what would that be? And you got to know what that would be. If there's no limit to it, my corporation is going to pay for it. So whatever you really want, what would that be? Okay, we want to know what that would be. And it's also taken me through, because I have other businesses and I have some, they're big. This is really little. This is compared to the other projects and things that I'm working on. Elizabeth is just one of them, but plays a very key part. And so, and this is a wonderful platform, is that that we're going to go through the 6 weeks is what the linking everyday extraordinary people are doing. That's what it does. It helps people go from just an idea to actually a business plan, and all the things that come with running your own business or your ministry or your nonprofit, whatever. And yeah, so I want us, even every day that we go in to get something out, that we walk out with something forwarding our game spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. It's time to go. Like Rev said, it's time to just do it. Now let's practice it.
Yeah.
Now let's, put it into action. Because otherwise, we got a full cup of what is it? Muddy stuff. It's running over and we're giving people stuff that's, not pure. We want to go ahead and go deep within our own selves so that we can come out as pure gold, iron, that sharpens iron. Yeah, because the mission is not a joke at all. Not at all. And all of us coming has made that commitment to better ourselves and to go to the next level in all areas of our lives. So when Lakeisha, I called Lakeisha, I said, tell me about your background. And I said, because you all up in the talking about, I got a master. I said, you was hitting your hand. I got a master in this and that. So tell me what, because I said, I need to talk to you because that's what I've been looking for. And in a certain type of thing for the big vision that's going to take us where we, want to go. So anyway, yeah. So it's now let's come, like this is Sunday at, Sunday morning, we're going to do some spiritual work. And we do spiritual work every day, when we come together and stuff. But we know that we're the area of our lives that we want to get a breakthrough on the Thursday on what's happening. On Friday, it's about business development, so on and so forth. And it's what I'm going to do every day anyway. So this is, Elizabeth is a great place to do your trial, and you're doing something different. Rev been teaching the class, but as far as teaching something outside Landmark and the what is it? Course in Miracles, this is a free flowing where she gets to, experience the Holy Spirit in a different way of leading her every day like that to a group and teaching, and how to see the development in this area of life and how all the other things have worked. All of us will find that out, how our past, those things that we have gone through, it's now time to pull them all together. Don't be scared of them, embrace them, see what we learned from them, and then put it out in beautiful packaging and things like that, each of us have a specialty in. So we need to know there needs to be a questionnaire about, our backgrounds and stuff so that we know who we are and who's in the midst of us, that type of thing. So anyway, we got 1 minute. Yep. Good work, Mama Het. Good work today. Good work.
Hey, you hung in there.
Give up. I might go sit to the side, but I don't give up.
Put yourself on timeout.
Yeah, I do.
Myself.
What'd you say, Reverend?
Bridget?
You hung in there. That was good. Listen, you guys got to get something. I'm a demand. I really am a demand. Because guess what? I know that we are one. And if I see it over there, and if it ain't working for me over there, I got to address it over there because I want it to work over here.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that's who I am. So you can bring your shenanigans if you want to, but I'm a demand. I really am, because we are one. I'm seeing myself over there. I'd be like, no, that's not quite the picture I want, God. So let me go over here and work with this a little bit so it can be the picture that's worthy of who we are.
Yeah,
that's who I am.
Yesterday, we are reflections of each other. We are little pieces.
Yes, so I understand that, and I know what I'm a demand for. God set me aside for a long time. Now he like, okay, now come out,
Mhm.
go do the work.
Get over here.
Yes, it's like, okay, here gonna hold y'all my y'all my pilot group.
Right, exactly.
Y'all my pilot group. Y'all
Really,
the first
really.
group. Y'all the first group. God said, okay, now go get them right there. I was like, why you want? You know, in the beginning, I was saying why I'm here. I don't even know why I'm here.
We a whole school. Shoot.
Can you see what I'm saying? So God's like, here you go, first class. But this is the deal. This is what I know. We have to do the work. We have to know what's the laws, the processes, and the practices. If we do that, I swear to God, we golden. I don't walk the walk. And I know it's a golden walk. But I know this, it takes time and attention for it to happen.
And application.
You got to put your time in for it to happen.
And it takes honesty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to dig down in there because our treasures are buried. And so your consciousness, to open up your consciousness and keep it open, it takes something. It's not a one and done. It's not a one and done. I just want you to know. Oh, Bridget got her hand raised. Bridget, I'm sorry, boo. You got your hand raised. We about to go though. You got to hurry.
Okay, I'm a hurry. In addition to the small businesses that we each have, the Elizabeths is a corporation. That was spoken down in my spirit several times throughout the Elizabeth conference. Although each of us have our own, the Elizabeths are a corporation because each and every last one of us bring. When you look at a corporation and you sit around a boardroom, everybody has their piece of what makes that corporation function. The Elizabeths, each and every last one of us have our piece that make this corporation function. Queen, you're the CEO. So in order for us to move, doing the business plans and everything, it moves us forward, it moves the corporation forward.
And I got to tell you, Queen, and you're the one in the hot seat, boo. You're the one in the hot seat. So you gotta shift faster than anybody because you're in the hot seat. So I just need you to know that.
Okay, and I just want to say,
her spirit start coughing on that. Her spirit start going.
So I just want to say, while we're going through this shift of elevating to the next level, number one, I just want to let you guys know I sent out my first proposal for a social media project. I got presented with an opportunity at the Elizabeth conference, and I didn't scare away. I actually just sent the proposal out today. So I'm very proud that I didn't shy away from that. I'm like, yeah, like it's done. But it's time for us to level up our businesses. While we're doing our business plans, I would say within the next 30 days, each and every last one of us, our business should be registered as a LLC, as a S corporation, whatever that next level, our businesses need to be that. And I'm giving us a win by 30 days because it don't take all day. It don't take a whole lot of money, and it don't take all day to have that business structure together. Because from what I found out, they don't give grants to sole proprietorships. So if you want to get this money out here and apply for these grants, you got to have the right business structure. So let's stop BSing and get our business structures together. I got mine together. Let's get ours together. If you need help, I can help you. If you need me to do it for you, I'll do it for you. But let's get it together so that we can now, and once you have that, now you can go after the grants. Now you can start going after this free money. But just remember, they don't give money to sole proprietorships. I just want to let you guys know that. Something told me to say that. That's all.
Okay.
Let's complete it, Sheila.
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us give ourselves a big, wonderful hug.
Okay.
So did you want to say something?
Yeah, I said, yeah, there was a couple of things I wanted to say. On June 19th is Womb Liberation Day, and I'm doing a make and take out at Belle Isle from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. So, okay, want everybody to know that. And then I will put in the chat the project that we're doing on Wednesday and what you need.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And you mean the WhatsApp, right? So we'll and
Yeah,
the,
the
and
WhatsApp, yeah.
too. Yeah, in the event too. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Love you.
All right,
Okay.
now give yourselves a big hug. And hug the world. Because it loves when you hug it. And do all the wonderful things that it wants and stuff and stuff and stuff. And have a fun day. Prosperous, fun, healthy, loving, sweet, all that good stuff. Bye.